welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast, episode 243. I did it. I remembered it. Yes. I am your co-host, Kylie Wilde, and I'm joined by my ever-present co-host, Pete Beckett.
The world is burning. Hello.
And he ain't wrong. It's very hot.
It was here.
It's so hot. How hot is it? I bought an air conditioner. That's how hot it is. But, yes, thank you for joining us. And this is the part where I usually ask our guest, how have they been? But guess what? We don't have a guest.
Oh,
Guest
okay,
what?
cool. So you
Guess
just got
what?
to deal with me, I guess, to ask that.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's boring. Let's move on.
I do like what Nana said,
Yeah.
though. So a little preview. If you come and join us over at twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews and catch us at the pre-show, you can hear us just talking about nonsense. And we were talking about Tarantino movies. And Nana says, also, my sister came in and said Pulp Fiction is better than any of the movies you just mentioned.
Point proven is what we
said. Lots of people feel that way. Absolutely.
I know. I could see its merits, but I think it's overrated.
Oh yeah, like I won't rehash what we went through, but there are parts of it that I think are very good.
But that's the problem. A Tarantino movie that's overrated is still better than most output from Hollywood, if I'm honest.
Right there, Pete has hit the nail on the head. Now, this is not a movie podcast, but he does do a movie podcast, and he will advertise that at the end. Well, this is a gaming podcast, which is where I say, wow, this tequila is really starting to get into my system. So, woo! Pete, how has your week been?
I like what Mike said. Say what one more time. What? Anyway, yeah, my week's been alright. It's been intense and busy and exhausting.
Were you camping?
No. It's just...
Because it was intense?
This is where I need drum roll. Anyway,
I have one. You can't hear it.
I can't hear it. No, and I don't know if the rest of the audience can. Anyway, it's fine.
Oh, either.
But yeah, that was terrible. Yeah, it's been busy, but yeah, go watch the stream beforehand because I spoke about it then. Anyway, but yeah, I've what?
My drum was delayed. It just now went off.
Oh, for God's sake. Good thing you aren't part of an actual band, otherwise you'd be well off cue.
Or any kind of sound whatsoever. I'm not a sound tech at all.
Sound check,
anyway.
1 2 1 2. Give me a drum roll, please. 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I've had a little bit of time to do some gamming, as they say, or gaming, whatever. Mike says he can hear the fan, which is fine.
Oh wait, no, I need to turn that off.
It's all right because all of you sitting in the chat are fans, so we can all hear you.
But also, I have bubble wrap under my wheels.
Oh God,
It's not a joke.
Is that the dog?
Oh, you could. Okay, I think it's all popped. Oh, there we go.
Hooray! Anyway, yeah. So I've had a bit of
No,
time to
there
get
goes.
some
Popped
gaming.
it.
Perfect. So yeah, because it came out recently for the Switch Online GameCube. Decided to play a couple of matches of Super Mario Strikers, which
Nice.
is the GameCube version, obviously, and is still an absolute banger. What a game! Still very, very good. Even though I only played it like against the computer, it's fine. Still good fun. Bit easy. Still better than the Wii version, but hey, that's fine. And it's a series that has never truly hit the heights of the GameCube version, which is what a surprise.
No danger.
But to be fair, most of my week when it comes to gaming has been taken up by trying to continue playing as trying to play Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Oh yes, which I'm going to start soon.
Oh boy, I do freaking love that game, but Jesus, it's becoming a test of my patience.
Oh no.
Like really is a test of patience. I come up to another boss, and I'm not spoiling what the bosses are, but it's a boss that you have to face once before. So a lot of his patterns are very similar until you get halfway through the fight. So it's not a two-stage fight, but half his health goes, and he's like, okay, here comes the final form, and gives him Gives them back
Great.
184,000 health. And it's
Oh,
like, yeah,
I hate
fantastic.
that.
So full health, yeah, brilliant. Fantastic.
Oh, I hate that.
Some of his moves gets changed up and gains the ability to have rage, which means that he plays twice, which is like, oh yeah, fantastic. So now I've got to go for all of this. But I suppose the good thing is if you manage to learn his moves and parry them, you do gain AP, which means that you can absolutely pile on that damage, which is great. So
That's cool.
I haven't actually explained it. You gain AP for successfully parrying, and you use AP to cast spells or do certain actions.
It's kind of like
basically.
Final Fantasy then.
In some degrees, yeah, but you don't actually have mana points, so your spells are solely on action points.
Right.
So certain things will cost you 5 action points or 7 or whatever. So you have to manage it. But if you can, obviously, there are things that you can have called pictos that mean that you can gain certain more action points if you successfully parry or dodge or do certain actions. So there's builds that you can make from that make you absolutely ridiculously powerful or whatever. So it's a real balancing act. It's such a hard game to get the hang with because it doesn't really actually tell you much about it in the opening part. It just gives you a brief thing and then expects you to figure it all out in some respect, which I kind of like. It's a very old school game in that respect, like an old school JRPG in that respect.
Right.
But it's still trying to figure a lot out, and when you're pretty much on the final boss of Act 2 and it is kicking your butt and you've had to go away and power level and try and learn all these things, it's like not the best time to try and do so. So yeah, not great, but I'm plowing through, trying to anyway. I'm about 21 hours into the game, and I am determined to get it done. So determined because I really love the game. So I think it's honestly is going to be on the Game of the Year list because I've enjoyed every minute of it, despite how frustrating it can be.
Yeah, then I definitely need to play it so I can.
I've even re-upped my Game Pass again for another couple of months just so I can complete it. But also there is another game coming out this week that I might need it for, and it will be an excellent palate cleanser for that when I'm getting frustrated.
Ooh.
So we'll talk about that one next week.
Mike says you played as Waluigi, didn't you, Pete? In Strikers, not in Obscur.
Moving on. Yeah. Anyway, so that's basically been my week. So Kylie, tell me what you've been playing.
I usually have my list of. Oh gosh. Speaking of that, for people who don't know, Ash did the voice of a certain character that might make an appearance on my stream in a game this week. I just told my schedule.
Yay!
Of course, I think Pete and I are the only people who know who Ash voices. Okay. So I already talked about, that day everything was last. Oh, right. I didn't play as much this week because I had in real life obligations, which made me sad.
Oh, how dull.
But I did play The Long Dark, which I keep playing. I'm playing it offline.
Cool.
I am a little bit obsessed with it. I don't know why. There's no base building, and we know I love Mike says that's a yes to your reaction. There's no base building in The Long Dark, I don't think. But it is a survival game, and I don't really like hardcore survival games. And apparently this does have a hardcore mode. I'm just opting not to do that. But it's kept my attention. They do talk way too much. I think I mentioned that last week. They just talk and talk. It's too much story, too much dialogue.
That's fair enough.
I'm an action person. I can't sit there very long or I get bored. So that's my only kind of negative thing about the game. And then, of course, we carried on with Resident Evil Village.
Of course.
Village. Again, I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say this every week until I'm not playing it, and then I'll say it again in October or whenever I play it again. Probably won't play it this year again, but I will next year. I just love the characters in that. they've done so well. It is probably the best characterization that they have ever done. And a lot of us were speculating about Resident Evil 9 and how that's going to be. I want it to be good.
So do I.
Cautiously optimistic. I don't think they can top the character the level of characterization they've done in this one.
I think they can, because I think they've got a very good premise that they're going for.
I hope so. Again, cautiously optimistic. So I want it to do really well, and I will be playing it day one release. And then in my offline, because believe it or not, I do exist off stream. Not. I only.
Are you sure about that?
No, I'm only a real person when this camera comes on. But
I can tell you that's true.
I have been absolutely obsessed with several games offline. There's one I'm playing called Silk. It's not the Silk, that's coming up. It's just an app. It's a phone app. And it's a mystery solving game. And then Papers, Please.
Ah, nice.
I am obsessed with that. And then
I keep hearing really good things about Papers, Please.
Oh, it's good if you like I like attention to detail. I'm one of those people. So if you're into like detail and those kind of puzzles, it's very good. And then I'm really obsessed with just Microsoft Solitaire. I'm just playing that obsessively.
No,
it's free cell. I just love free cell.
Yeah, don't. I go through stages where I used to get really obsessed with playing solitaire and getting the perfect run.
Well, mine is free cell, and I just want to just play it until I die. And I can't do that. I just sit there and keep playing game after game after game.
Honestly, my mum, when we used to have I think it was like a Windows 95 computer, became utterly obsessed with free cell. She used to play the absolute hell out of it.
I did too. I used to play, because back in those days, and like Windows 98 and Windows XP, the free cell games had they were numbered. Mm-hmm. And they would do like random numbers. But you could go through the settings and make it play sequentially. Mm-hmm. And so it was my goal to play through this almost infinite numbers of free cell games. And I got up to like 10,000 or something like that. And then,
that
Xbox came out. I was. It might be because of Asperger's. Who knows? But,
it's fairly possible, yeah.
Yeah, it might be. That might be contributed to it. So so I'm back on my free cell addiction.
Nice.
But so that's it for me. That wraps up this portion. I'm gonna drink some more pizza and tell you what this show's about.
This show is about news this time again. But that's because we've got a lot of weird news to discuss, because if you haven't seen what the stream is titled and what this episode is titled, we've got a lot to discuss about a certain company. But we're going to cover some other stuff beforehand, and then we're going to finish it off with a stupid story as well.
Woohoo, my favourite.
Because we've got to cut through some of the crap. So, yeah, this week is depressing, to say the least, when it comes to video games. So let's start. No. So should we start off at Ubisoft?
Yes, Ubisoft. Oh, I was about to. I was gonna make a joke, and I didn't. What's the opposite of soft? And you can imagine what that joke was gonna be.
Correct.
And that would have been a bad joke.
I'm not naming the episode "You Be Erect."
That's funny. Okay.
Okay, I'm naming the episode though. No.
Don't do that. We'll get in so much trouble.
I think Overlord would tell us to take it down.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I think it gives us carte blanche to basically do whatever we want now.
To an extent, yes.
Well, what about the episode where we were just like, screw it, we've broken the barrier now. It's just like F this to everything.
I know. But we had explicit tags, so that was good.
We did, yeah. So, right. So, we know that there was an incident. There was a pattern of terrible behaviour at Ubisoft over numerous years. So, unfortunately, I know. So this one is going to be quite a hard story to discuss. I'm not going to read read the trigger warning, because I don't believe in trigger warnings. Trigger warnings suck anyway. But anyway, so three former Ubisoft execs stand trial for sexual assault and harassment at the company have been found guilty and sentenced.
Yay!
Yes. So the trial of former CCO Serge Haskiot. Yay, gonna make me do some terrible French and Swedish names. Fantastic.
Nice.
Former Vice President of Editorial and Creative Services, Thomas Francois.
That's a very French name.
Yeah, and former game designer Guillaume Petrou.
Guillaume.
Yeah.
I bet. I have no idea.
Yeah, Guillaume.
I can't speak English.
Yeah, I mean, we discovered this at the beginning of the stream. Jesus Christ. Anyway, initially started in March, but was adjourned until early June following the request from lawyers to have more time to get familiar with the case documents. So Francois, as previously reported by Le Mode, was accused of systemic, psychological, and sexual harassment with alleged behaviour, including the watching of porn in an open plan office. Fantastic.
Also, if you are easily triggered or whatever, even if you're not easily triggered, don't go read the court documents.
Probably not a good idea to read it.
It was bad. He did some bad things. He did it's bad.
Well,
it's not even like, oh, he's just being a boy. No, he did bad things.
No, this is one of those incidents where I say boys will be boys is not a normal thing. This is not normal for people to do.
No, it's bad. He's bad.
So watching porn in an open plan office, commenting on the appearance of female staff, regular public humiliation and hazing, and attempted sexual assault where he allegedly tried to forcibly kiss a young employee during a Christmas party. How young was she? I don't know.
Probably too young. Too young.
I'm not saying anything that could get me in trouble. According to Libération, or whatever the publication is called, Francois is now being found guilty of moral and sexual harassment and attempted sexual assault, and has been given a free... Oh my god. This is why I should read this beforehand so that I actually know what I'm prepared for.
What are you about to say?
He has been given a 3-year sentence. Suspended.
Yeah.
And a fine of €30,000.
Yeah, I read that beforehand. I read that.
Oh, I'm aware. Haskill has been accused of lewd behaviour, posting intrusive questions of a sexual nature, racist comments and behaviour. He was alleged to have asked a Muslim employee if she supported Islamic State, and to have been responsible for her PC desktop image being replaced with pictures of bacon sandwiches and food being placed on her desk during a Ramadan fast. So Libération reports that Haskill received an 18-month suspended prison sentence and a fine of €45,000.
Yup.
Patro, who was a designer on such titles as The Crew and Gone Home, was accused of psychological harassment, including violent and intimidating behaviour. He received a 12-month suspended sentence and a fine of €10,000. So Haskill, who oversaw all the company's games as head of its influential editorial team, resigned in July 2020 after a significant number of accusations. Francois left in August 2020. But he wasn't going to. And no, he wasn't.
They weren't going to, by the way.
So during a Q&A at a media event in 2022, Yves Guillemot referred to the... can't talk as well. Shouldn't take the piss if I can't do it myself.
That's right.
To the harassment allegations, saying, "Yes, we stumbled." We've acknowledged that. We learnt a lot along the way, and we've made meaningful progress with concrete action plans.
It was the sexual harassment we made along the way.
That same week, a Better Ubisoft, a group consisting of former and current employees, claimed that their concerns were not being heard, and that while many abusers at Ubisoft were axed, some were simply moved to new roles, different studios, or even promoted, and also alleged that the HR people who dismissed their complaints and protect abusers were still at the company. Fantastic. So we basically know nothing has changed at all.
Nah. It's going to happen again.
And, well, let's be honest. If they know that all they're going to get is a 3-year prison, like 3-year suspended sentence and a €45,000 fine, aren't they going to carry on? Well, I'm not talking about these 3 individuals as such, because I don't think they will. They don't work there anymore.
No, but they'll carry on wherever they're at.
They'll carry on because they'll think,
they'll blame all the other people.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're offended at that.
Yeah, disgusting.
Such wimps.
Like, this is disgrace. It's an utter disgrace. The prison, I've known people who've worked for the police service before, and I'm not going to disclose any names because, that would be unfair to them. But I remember having a conversation with one of them at a function whilst they were off duty, and said that they are utterly miffed and peed off with what this country calls the Crown Prosecution Service, the CPS, because they will not go to trial unless it is an absolute nailed-on formality that they will get a conviction. Which I think's disgusting. Take it to trial and let the people decide, regardless of who you are. It's stupid, honestly. I know people who are training to be, solicitors, and even they find the law is an ass, because the law is an ass.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a joke. Honestly, I could sit on Twitter and tweet something absolutely ludicrous, I'll get put in prison.
I saw some videos about that, Pete. Yep.
Oh no, it's stupid. And yet these people can go and do some of the most heinous crimes, and they'll get a suspended sentence. There's one thing that I dislike out of anything in the world is crimes of a sexual nature.
Oh gosh, don't even get me started.
And crimes of a sexual nature against children is my absolute bugbear. Disgusting, and you should be absolutely taken out of this world completely if you do anything like that. But yeah, there are people who get away with nothing and then get moved away and change names because of fear that they might get found out. And it's like, no, name and shame these horrible bastards. Jesus
you can't
Christ.
do the time, don't do the crime.
Yeah, exactly. It's disgraceful, honestly. This is why I hate things like this, because it's just... These people should be banged up for at least 5 to 10 years for what they've done.
Kotick or whatever, it took him forever.
Yeah.
To get rid of him. Also, Nana mentioned, which I did have this thought. Also, I forgot to mention this, but apparently Ansel might be coming back with that Rayman remake rumor.
Yeah, so that's Michel Ancel, who is the game director of Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, who I thought got in trouble. Didn't he get in trouble too?
He should have got in trouble. I think he was due to get in trouble, and then he went, I'm going to own a farm.
Oh, yes, it was him. Yes, it was. But here's one thing I've learned in the 5 years that we've done this podcast. Every time I say the words, this game is not coming out.
It ends up coming out,
6 years later, it comes out. I still just don't understand that. That's insane. Why would you sit on a game that long and then release it? And then it's usually, they've all been bombs. Every game I said, this game isn't coming out. And they come out and it bombs.
Yeah, it does.
Listen to me.
No, they
okay.
shouldn't. Anyway, let's not talk about this crappy story.
No.
And let's talk about this crappy story.
Okay.
Because Subnautica's studio Unknown Worlds has lost its leadership in a significant shake-up at the developer.
Yeah.
Yay!
I really love Subnautica.
Oh, I know. That's why I included the story.
But I did notice it was where was it at? Oh, Subnautica is coming to iPad.
Yeah.
In a month. And I thought, well, that's very odd. That's usually not a good sign, because that's weird. But anyway, so yes, go on, Pete. But I read that this week.
So on Wednesday, it's just been, owner Crofton announced that CEO Ted Gill, co-founder and creative director Charlie Cleveland, oh hooray, I can actually say these names, and co-founder and technical director Max Maguire have all left the studio effective immediately. Ooh. According to
wonder.
Crafton, Unknown World's leadership left despite its efforts to keep them involved in the game's development. And quote, the company wishes them well on their next endeavours. No reason was given for their departures, and neither Gill, Cleveland nor Maguire have issued statements. So
yeah, that's my salary dispute.
So for those who don't know, Cleveland and Maguire co-founded Unknown Worlds in early 2000s, when the company was best known for its Half-Life mod, Natural Selection. And it was published by PUBG owner Crafton in 2021. So Nana's asked, did anyone get laid off? I don't think they did. It's just a shake-up with the leadership more than anything, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
So
that's why I'm saying salary dispute. They probably wanted more.
Yeah.
And they said nope, and they said okay, bye.
So Steve Papoutis, who is previously CEO of
cool
Striking Distance and GM of EA's Visceral, will take over as Unknown World's CEO. Quote, importantly, Crafton is a confident Papoutis with decades of experience behind the planning, development and production of some of the highest rated game franchises, will bring renewed energy and momentum to delivering the long anticipated Subnautica 2 experience to fans. I actually didn't even know they were bringing out Subnautica 2.
I guess I just thought that the Subnautica one that is set in the ice was... I just see that
Below
as
Zero.
Subnautica 2. That. See, that's my problem. I can never understand standalone games, DLC, all that kind of stuff.
Standalone DLC.
I don't get it. I don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
So what you're saying is they should bring back on disc DLC.
Yes, and then let me crack it on my Where's site. I'll get the key and I'll crack it.
Yeah.
Everyone under the age of 30 was like, I don't... What words is she saying?
Oh, I know, yeah. God, cracking.
I know. Good old Where's with the Z.
Yeah, back in the day when you thought you were a well-experienced hacker by using... I'm going to crack this.
Yeah. I went and found a keychain. I'm a hacker now.
I bought this pre-owned game and it comes with a rotor. This PC version of Escape from Monkey Island that comes with the rotor code. Jesus Christ. I cracked it.
Oh my god.
Sitting up and going onto BitTorrent. I was like, I'm going to find a cracked version of Raven Shield.
Oh my gosh. And IRC.
God, it's
got my copy of original Halo that way. And Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
And Lemmings.
Don't diss Lemmings.
Game I pirated.
Don't ever dare diss Lemmings. Lemmings is a classic.
No. This is how dumb younger Kiley was and thought she was such a good hacker. I pirated Lemmings in the early 2000s. By then, it was already a ROM. I could have just got the ROM and played it on my emulator.
Yes, you could.
No, instead of that, I risked my IRC access and pirated Lemmings.
Here's an interesting fact for you, by the way. Did you know that was actually one of the earliest games made by the GTA developer DMA Designs?
No, I mean, now that you say it, yes, I didn't think about that at all. Oh my gosh.
Before they became Rockstar, obviously, but there was back when they were based in Scotland.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
and
funny.
published by Psygnosis.
Yes. And
the owl.
One of the... Yes, I was going to say the best icon next to
fantastic.
id, but yeah.
Yeah, speaking of good videos when it comes to Psygnosis, Modern Vintage Gamer put out a really good 30-something minute video of part 1 of the developer story behind Psygnosis. Really good.
One. Between that and Sierra Games, I was just... that's my
Sierra Games had one hell of a logo. God damn it. You sit everywhere.
Oh, yes.
Oh dear.
Man,
they were the good days, weren't they? Back when video game budgets weren't overinflated and complete crap, and it's gaming was a fun hobby, not an absolute exercise of exhaustion.
Where we had to be embarrassed that we were gamers. You couldn't tell anybody.
Oh God, yeah. Do you remember the days where you were like, oh, what do you like to do for fun? Play video games. Nerd!
Sit in your mom's basement and play video games all night? Oh my gosh. No. I sit in the living room. Thank you very much.
Like, I went to an event, right? This just shows you the complete stark difference, right? Back in the 2000s, I was a bullied young man for being a video gamer.
Yes.
But now I see every kid wearing a Minecraft, Sonic, or whatever t-shirt, and I'm like, I'm not cool anymore. I mean, I wasn't cool anyway, but...
No. Now we are the man. We used to fight the man. Now we
used to fight the system, man. Now we are the system.
But yes,
it's almost like we became Rage Against the Machine.
Exactly. Everyone listening to this that is under the age of 30, yes, it used to be horribly embarrassing to read comic books, to play video games, to play Magic the Gathering. Oh my gosh, don't tell anyone you're doing that.
No, I never delved into the world of Magic the Gathering, but Jesus
I didn't either, but I had plenty of friends that did, because I was only friends with nerds. I didn't, really normal people.
Okay, put it into perspective then, what Magic the Gathering or D&D. If you play D&D, then you are the ultimate nerd,
D&D.
basically. Yes. I still do.
Yeah, I loved it. And it's so popular now. It's just weird.
Damn,
the world
screw
is
you,
weird.
Stranger Things, man. You ruined D&D for me.
That and Critical Role. They made it popular, so dang Matt Mercer. And anime. Oh, and anime.
God damn,
Anime. The only way I could watch anime in the late 90s and early 2000s was either a very secret DVD shop that was down the road for me. It was almost like going into the porn section. But it was DVD, and it was in Japanese. You only had subs, no dubs. Or the only dubs were Saturday mornings on Sci-Fi Channel from 9 a.m. to 10, and then after that was MSTK 3000. I woke up just to watch all the anime and all the MSTK 3000. That was the only way we could get it back then, and we walked uphill both ways. See, that's how old we are.
Yep. And well, the first time I ever heard about a Street Fighter anime movie was when it came on the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection for PS2, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh my gosh. See?
Like, holy crap, this is awesome.
And now you can turn on Netflix and you see, like, there's like Halo anime.
Yep.
And
there's
stuff.
everything.
And I'm just like,
there's
that's so
absolutely
weird.
everything. There's anime on Disney. There's anime there's anime on Netflix.
Oh, it's on everything.
God damn it.
I know, it's crazy.
I mean, back in the day when being called a weeb was a badge of honor.
Oh, yeah. Like, yes. That, believe it or not, that was that. Everyone preferred to be called nerd than geek.
Yep.
Now it's geek. Now it's just, I don't even know what it is now. I don't even think anybody gets called anything.
No, I don't think they do, because you probably get put in prison if you call someone it's probably a hate crime now.
It probably is. And I remember one last thing, and then we'll move on. This is just old people thinking back. But
old man yells at Sky.
Yeah, exactly. I've always loved conventions. Thankfully, I lived right outside of Houston, where
there was a lot.
One of the biggest conventions.
Conventions.
It was Comic-Con. Comic-Con back then, and this is way before MCM. This is we're going back in time, back in the future. It would have comics and video games smushed together. There was no separate thing.
No, because there was a bleed over in both.
And it was weird because it would be in like the hotel lobby of a really nice hotel. Mm-hmm. But that was it. There was none of this. No companies came in and set up, anything like that. Nope. It was just there. And everyone cosplay. You cosplayed the day that all started. Like that cosplay's been around forever. And it was just such a weird time. It was a great time. But I kind of like that it's become more mainstream. Because there's more opportunity. Anyway, that's my old people talk. Thank you.
I still remember that the first video game tournament I ever went to when it came to to Smash Brothers was literally in a tiny little shop. Like, so many people crowded into this shop.
But
how they go away with that, I don't know.
Just think back, because they held one in Houston. Just think back to the Nintendo tournaments. The original Nintendo tournaments. They held them in Houston. I begged and pleaded. But I was like 6 years old.
What, like the World
I
Championships and stuff like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And because like that movie, The Wizard. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I've never
also
seen it, but I know enough about it.
The Power Glove. But anyway, Christian Slater's in it too. But anyway, that got everybody all excited for Nintendo World Tournaments, championships or whatever. So they went all over the U.S. and they came to Houston, and I begged my mom, please. My mom did not want me playing video games. She did not want me reading comic books. She's like, oh, that's a boy thing. There was no way. So I begged my brother, who was like way older than me. He was already like a teenager. So come on. He's like, no, that's so dorky. That's so ew. Why would I go to that? Because he's like, not into that. He's a theater kid. So I just remember I know, looking back. But that's just saying, back then, theater kids were above comic book nerds and video game nerds.
We were the bottom of the barrel.
We're at the bottom. But yeah, I just remember how exciting it was that Nintendo would actually bring like a competition, to my area, and it was just amazing and stuff like that. It was huge. It was huge back then.
Lucky you. We had to wait 2.5 years for translated versions of games, and sometimes they didn't even come out.
Exactly. Apparently, y'all didn't get half the games we did, which is
Screw
weird.
off. We never got Mario RPG until the fucking Wii, and it pees me off. Even
so
to this
weird
day.
to me. Yeah.
Stupid game.
Was it Condemned? No, Manhunt, I think, was
Manhunt got
outlawed
banned.
here. Yeah, it got banned here in Ireland.
Yeah.
And it's only recently been unbanned. That's so weird to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is more of our old people scream at the sky.
Yeah, it is. Well, mostly because we've got to crack through like this horrible, disgraceful.
I know.
Like,
we gotta have some moments of levity.
News, so, right. So this one, I'm just going to put it out there. This one was sent to me like the breaking story was basically sent to me in full by Brent, listener of the show, Brent.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he must be playing tonight.
Probably is, yeah. So he informed me about this and then kept informing me by private message on Discord. So thank you very much for keeping me up to speed with all of this. There's your shout out, Brent. That's all you're getting. I'm joking. So last week we discussed the potential the reporting from Jason Schreier at Bloomberg, basically talking about that there was going to be some job cuts at Xbox, or Microsoft, or both. Well, the news came out on the 2nd of July, which, as we record, was Tuesday. No,
it was Tuesday.
It was the 4th on Friday, so it was Wednesday.
I have no idea.
It was Wednesday. Okay. So, Microsoft's gaming division has confirmed that it was making a fresh round of layoffs, with the company starting to inform employees across the business that cuts on Wednesday. There was a lot of developing stories as associated with this, so I'm not going to lie, this is going to be a big one. Oh,
Brent just showed up!
Just missed his shout out there.
That's hilarious.
That's fine.
That's great.
I'll reiterate for Brent, you sent this to me, so thank you very much. So obviously keeping me informed about all of this. So I would have found out eventually anyway. Well, it was hard not to miss after a few hours anyway, but yeah. So according to Seattle Times, Microsoft said that as much as 4% of the workforce, roughly 9,100 employees of the company's total employees across all departments, including gaming, could be affected by the layoffs.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that's not just Xbox, but yeah. Quote, we continue to implement organisational and workforce changes that are necessary to position the company and teams for success in a dynamic workplace. So this was a statement from Microsoft. In the message sent to all staff, Microsoft's head of gaming, Phil Spencer, stated that the cuts were designed to, quote, end or decrease work in certain areas of the business, and fellow Microsoft leads in removing layers of management to increase agility and effectiveness. So, quote, according to Bloomberg, the King division, this is strange to me, by the way.
That's the mobile. That's the mobile
which
platform.
makes Candy Crush, is cutting 10% of its staff, or about 200 jobs. Other European offices, such as ZeniMax, have began informing employees of job cuts that are underway, with US units expected to be notified later today. According to VGC sources, Rare have also been effective, but we'll get into that in a moment. There's been a lot of updates, as you can imagine from this, but I won't go into all of it, because we're just going to read this as such. The email that was shared from Phil Spencer. So, and I'm just going to read it in full, and I'm not going to make any editorials to it. I'm just going to say that, so we'll say it as is. Today we are sharing decisions that will impact colleagues across our organisation. To position gaming for enduring success and allow us to focus on strategic growth areas, we will end or decrease work in certain areas of the business and fellow Microsoft leads in removing layers of management to increase agility and effectiveness. Out of respect for those impacted, the specifics of today's notifications and any organisational shifts will be shared by your team leaders in the coming days. I recognise that these changes come at a time when we have more players, games and gaming hours than ever before. Our platform, hardware and game roadmap have never looked stronger.
It's corporate speak.
I said no editorials.
Okay,
I'm not commenting. No, you can. The success we're seeing currently is based on tough decisions we've made previously. We must make choices now for continued success in future years, and a key part of that strategy is the discipline to prioritise the strongest opportunities. We will protect what is thriving and concentrate effort on areas with the greatest potential while delivering on the expectations the company has for our business. This focused approach means we can deliver exceptional games and experiences for players for generations to come. Deep breath. Prioritising our opportunities is essential, and that does not lessen the significance of this moment. Simply put, we would not be where we are today without the time, energy and creativity of those whose roles are impacted. These decisions are not a reflection of the talent, creativity and dedication of our people involved. Our momentum is not accidental. It is the result of years of dedicated efforts from our teams. HR is working directly with impacted employees to provide severance plans benefits aligned with local laws, including pay, healthcare and job placement resources to support their transition. Employees whose roles were eliminated are encouraged to explore open positions across Microsoft Gaming, where their applications will be given priority review. Thank you to everyone who has shaped our culture, our products and our community. We will move forward with deep appreciation and respect for all those who have contributed to this journey.
Yeah. So, my question...
Can I just note something first before we carry on? Because I think Nana has raised a very good point in the comments, in block capitals. Never trust Phil Spencer in anything he says.
Yeah.
In fact, it was quite funny. I wanted to find the video because I found it the other day. Oh, it was all the statements that he had made and then went back on like it's only the 4 games coming to other consoles and then more games have come out and all that sort of thing. And it was done to a song that was like so apt. It was like talking about lies and stuff like that. It was brilliant. Like, it was a 3-minute video of all those lying statements he made. It was like, yeah, fantastic. This man should never be trusted ever again.
Which makes me sad because he was such a stand-up guy during the epic Apple battle.
He was, but maybe this was because he was positioning himself to look like the good guy so that he could be the arsehole that he really is.
I mean, I hate to be that cynical, but at the same time. But my question is this: as a, I guess, former business owner, I mean, I still own them, but I'm not directly overseeing them. In name only do I own businesses right now. Mm-hmm. You should be focusing on the parts that make you money all the time.
Yes.
Why are you just now focusing on that, Phil?
It's very strange, actually. I don't know.
That was bad corporate speak.
Honestly, there was a lot of speculation about why this has come about, but we'll probably get to that once we cover the more news involved with it. But I just want to finish this off by this part of the article by saying January 2023, it confirmed that they laid off 10,000 employees. January 2024, it was 1,900 employees. September 2024, it was 650. And earlier this year, it was an unspecified number of layoffs. But this is also a company that is a $3 trillion company.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, Microsoft is a $3 trillion company, but...
Too big to fail, is what they normally say.
And too stupid to succeed, clearly.
There you go.
Anyway, so this was, as you can imagine, a very fast evolving story. Because this came out almost probably a few minutes after this had happened. Rare's long in development original IP, Everwild, has now been cancelled.
I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, I couldn't either. So, according to people with knowledge of the project, team members were informed of the news, which comes amid the layoffs, and were formally announced on Wednesday. Employees are likely to lose their job as part of the broader restructuring of Sea of Thieves developer. VGC has asked for Microsoft for a comment, but I don't know if they got it. Though it's so in its prototype phase, it had been in though it was in its prototype phase or whatever, it had been in development for over a decade, with anonymous developers indicating that they'd struggled to nail a clear direction of the title, even after a recent reboot of the project. Rare announced it in November of 2019 and released the trailer in 2020. Updates on the game were scarce in this year that followed, except for gaming boss Phil Spencer's insistence that progress was being made on the title earlier this year.
Now we know.
Yep. So there was actually an update to this not long after, because the most experienced and influential game designer at Rare, Greg Mayles, has now left the company after 35 years.
Wow.
One of the OGs is now no longer associated with Rare any longer.
That's bad.
That's real bad. And let's not forget, right, and this is where I'm going to go completely to task on Xbox on this one, because there's been some crappy stories involved in this one, and I'm going to get into most of them soon. Rare is one of the UK gaming's biggest darlings for many, many years.
Yep.
Microsoft came in like a frickin' sledgehammer and bought them out of, basically bought them out. I
wanted that Viva Pinata.
Fuck all from them. Yes, I don't care. I'm going full ham. I don't give a shit. I'll put the explicit on this one. They've done fuck all with them ever since. They got them on frickin' avatars, Connect Sports, the Xbox dashboard. All the stuff that they're not very good at doing. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts, fine, people respect nuts and bolts nowadays.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Sea of Thieves was their only, I've not played it, fully, but what I did play, I quite enjoyed.
I was going to say, it looks great.
Great IP since Viva Pinata.
Which I love and adore.
Which was on freaking 360.
I love
I'm not the biggest Viva Pinata fan, but, I love it. I love its concept, at least.
It's so good!
Yeah,
yes.
But they've done nothing with them, and yet they're going to completely rip out Greg Mayles, the only person that actually had been there for 35 years, nearly since its inception, and completely gut him out because Everwild is not working. Great. Fantastic. He worked on, from this, he said he worked on Conker's Bad Fur Day. A game that they remastered for freaking Xbox, and lorded it over. I was like, oh, look, this is on our collection.
Yeah, but they also did the same thing with ZeniMax, and I'm very, very concerned about that.
Well, we might get to that in a bit, by the way.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm pissed off about the Rare one more so than anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This got mentioned in our WhatsApp group, by the way, the one that I've got with Mike and a few other people, where we turn around, and there's a couple of Nintendo fanboys in that one.
Well, yeah, there is, yeah.
Admittedly.
I would assume.
And I don't agree with a statement, but actually what I said is something different. They were like, I wish Nintendo would come back and buy them. And I went, no, don't.
Why is that? Because I think that would be good.
I don't think so. What I would love to see happen is exactly what happened with Toys for Bob. Them go fully independent.
Right.
I don't want them to be associated with any big platform maker. They've had somewhat bad experiences with Nintendo. When they were developing Donkey Kong Country, Shigeru Miyamoto specifically turned around and said it looked like arse. I didn't like the look of it. Hated the look of the game. Like, I love that. They, you know,
just the way that they got like that. I love that.
Yeah, the way that they the way that they got in with Nintendo was that they actually had to reverse engineer it because Nintendo wouldn't give them anything to do with source codes.
Right. Yeah.
And then they were somewhat impressed that they took a stake in them. Didn't buy them outright, just took a stake in them.
Yeah.
And then sold that stake to Microsoft. I wish that they would approach. And this isn't the Rare that we know anymore because most of the creators from Rare all went off and made shit.
Ukulele?
Free Radical Design, that was the one. Sorry, I had a mind fart there. But they went on to go into Free Radical Design, who obviously have had a real bad time ever since then.
Yup.
Like, I kind of wish that if they go fully independent, the people who actually created them or went off and did Free Radical would come back to Rare, bring the Dream Team back, and just go back in. Playtonic is great and everything, and I have no issues with them, but they've recently had job cuts. They're remastering a game that shouldn't be remastered from the last generation, so they've got their own problems. Like, bring them all back into Rare as a fully independent company, let them work on whatever the hell they want, subcontract with Nintendo, subcontract with Microsoft if they want to, get back some of their old IPs like Conker and Banjo, and let them actually make something good. For Christ's sakes.
I think, though, here's what I think. Not that it matters what I think, but... and also, yes, I am redeeming that glass of wine. I've drank a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So, I think that they should not buy back their IPs. I mean, if they can, great.
No, I hope they do.
But at this point in time, also with movies... and TV shows and video games, just get some original IPs.
Oh, I agree.
Just anything original. I will support it if it's good. Make it good. Make it quality. I don't know what's going on with people. I don't know why the last 5 years has been a creative desert. Make something original. Just do it. There's plenty of ideas out there that haven't been touched. The world is an untapped landscape.
Yeah.
Make something new.
I agree. I want them to make something new, but I also don't want Microsoft or Xbox having control of those IPs anymore because they're like them owning it is just more disgusting at this point. Like, I
mean, the principle of it.
And we're gonna get to that because one of them is actually an IP that we'll talk about right now because Xbox has now cancelled Perfect Dark.
Yes, this one made me rage.
And not only that, they closed the developer, the initiative.
Yep.
The studio that they set up just to make this as a quadruple A game, they called it.
This right here, I think, is what finally broke me. I think this was the thing that said, I'm done.
Honestly, I think this is the one that everyone turned around and went, you know what? Fuck Xbox now.
Yeah.
Because I did.
I am an Xbox fangirl from way back. I was a PlayStation fangirl first. This last 2 years, I can't find it. I can't find that love of Xbox anymore. Yeah, I get that the Game Pass Ultimate is still the best investment, and I'm still doing that. But they are canceling, like, Perfect Dark. That's a kind of, like, automatic hit.
Well, yeah. We'll get to that in a minute because there's some things that came out as a result of the back end of this that we will talk about. So let's read the story. We'll get to that. So, in a statement, Xbox Game Studios' Matt Booty said that the decision... Asshole. I'm not even going to call him Matt Booty and laugh about it anymore. I'm just going to call him Matt Asshole.
Well, the tequila makes me laugh.
Anyway, so Matt Asshole said that the decisions, quote, reflect a broader effort to adjust priorities and focus resources to set up our teams for a greater success with a challenge within a challenging industry landscape. So, Santa Monica, California-based developer,
Your
The
freaking
Initiative
Xbox!
Was established in 2018 by former Crystal Dynamics boss Daryl Gallagher, along with a host of veteran developers. Perfect Dark was the studio's first and only title, and didn't even get released. Xbox finally showed gameplay of the Perfect Dark reboot last summer, 4 years after its announcement. And by the way, that showing was absolutely incredible, barring Joe Dark's look.
Yes, like I think we did a live react of that.
We did, and I actually really bloody enjoyed it. And
I was like excited for it because, you know, obviously female protagonist.
You know me though. I was hesitant. I went, if you're rebooting Perfect Dark, it has to be, no pun intended, it has to be perfect.
No, it does. It absolutely does. It's one of those legacy games.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So it was shown last summer, 4 years after its announcement. According to the report, the game had been through a challenging development. So VGC reported in March 2022 that Xbox Studio had seen a fast and furious wave of senior departures over the previous year. So I'm not gonna note the. Anyway, this email from Asshole. Comes to company staff via Windows Central reads, following Phil's note, I want to share more about the changes to the studio business units.
Do you?
We have made the decision to stop development of Perfect Dark and Everwild as well as wind down several unannounced projects across our portfolio. Apparently, and quote, one of those was a Banjo remake, by the way.
Oh, goodness.
Well, I don't know how believable it is.
Yeah. But I also wouldn't be surprised.
As part of this, we're closing our one of our studios, The Initiative. These decisions, along with the changes across our teams, reflects a broader effort to adjust priorities and focus. I can't even fucking bother to read this. It's total corporate gobshite.
Yep.
Anyway, don't care. This is fucked.
Yes, it is. It's probably the most... It sounds strong to say devastating, but...
No, this was devastating. Like, for the people involved... Like, I'm not even disappointed at this point. I'm just unsurprised as it goes. The way that the industry's been going the last few years,
I know.
Like, there isn't much that genuinely surprises me anymore. But this one came out of left field, and I was like, you fucking idiots.
Like... They're dropping a huge, like this is an automatic seller. Even if it was... Wait, we've got an explicit tag, right?
We have now.
Even if it was shit out the gate, it would still have sold. Like hotcakes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand the reasoning, but I haven't understood the reasoning of any of the video game industry in the last 2 years. Not at all.
I haven't either.
Years. I can't understand it at all. No,
and honestly, it is getting so much more difficult to call myself a video gamer these days, or a hobbyist, let's say, when all of this crap is going on constantly. I have a like the both of us, we do a podcast, obviously. We clearly have a genuine interest in the video game industry. Yeah. Like,
I wouldn't talk about it if I didn't.
Yeah, we like video games. We like talking about games. Yeah. We like how games are made, which is why we talk to developers and stuff like that. We genuinely enjoy the craft.
We know who Matt Booty is.
I mean, how many people really know who Matt Asshole is?
Exactly. Or Phil Spencer. And we talk about him weekly. But yes.
I mean, we called him Lion Jin Ryan at Sony for quite a long time. Did. But we need to find one that's solely apt for Phil Spencer, because...
Penis Spencer. I have no creativity because I'm so disappointed in him. Because I believed in him. I did.
Okay, so he's Matt Asshole, and I'm just going to call him Dickhead Spencer.
Might as well.
Fine. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Oh, it was quite funny, actually, because... you know, one of the executives there, Satya Nadella, So someone was misquoting their name and calling them Satya Nutella.
Oh,
And I actually
nice.
thought that was quite funny. So yeah, they're now known as Satya Nutella.
Yes.
So yeah, cool. I make light of this. We've got to find a laugh somewhere, but Jesus Christ.
You have to.
But that's not all.
I know.
That's not all.
Go for it.
Because ZeniMax Online Studios boss Matt Fryer is leaving the studio. Holy crap.
Yeah, he's jumping ship. He's a rat jumping a ship.
Anyway, the announcement comes as an unannounced project that the studio has reportedly been cancelled. A massive new MMO that they were working on. Which takes a long time to fucking produce.
You know it was Fallout. It had to be Fallout.
Of course it was Fallout. Of course it was.
New Vegas.
So anyway.
Which makes me very upset.
Yep. So anyway, on Wednesday, as part of sweeping Microsoft layoffs, which included the initiative, ZeniMax
Also,
Online Studios reported... Yeah, I'll get to that in a moment.
Okay.
Reportedly ended development on an unannounced project. Now the studio's boss has announced in a statement that he'll be departing. Fryer's statement doesn't mention the cancelled project, instead focusing on his tenure at the helm of ESO, or Elder Scrolls Online.
Yep.
Quote, after
Which
more than...
he did amazing at.
Oh yeah, that game didn't start out well, but my God, did it keep going, and it kept rising in popularity, and they kept doing updates constantly.
And they dropped the ball with Fallout 76, but that's another
well, that's Nana says Fallout MMO after all the shit with the 76 got. Why not make Fallout 5? Yeah, different teams, different priorities.
Yeah, I think ZeniMax. It was set to make Fallout New Vegas 2.
Possibly,
which is
anyway.
High demand and also a high demand by me. But yes.
Anyway, so after more than 18 years leading ZeniMax Online Studios, I'll be stepping away later this month. The studio and ESO will be in great hands under the direction of new studio head Joe Berber, along with
their
executive producer.
Their latest update is terrible. By the way, I don't play it, but it's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful.
So, executive producer Susan Caff and game director Rich Lambert. Together, this leadership team has spearheaded so many of ESO's biggest ideas and expansions, and will continue to make this game something we're all proud of. While I won't be working on the game anymore, I will be cheering you on and adding to the thousands of hours I've already spent in game. There are many more stories to be told, adventures to be had, and I know this amazing community will carry that shared legacy and success forward. So yeah, anyway, that's basically that story.
Yeah.
So this absolutely sucks. It's only getting worse. So and we're then gonna come to the culmination of it in a minute. But I want to read this comment from Brent. Yeah. He says, "You say it's an automatic seller, but if you ask a kid about Banjo or Perfect Dark, they won't know them. They might think that they are Fortnite or COD skins. Mm-hmm. Both franchises are left out of the spotlight too long for their current target audience." I do agree, but I think it's one of those like hush like sort of things, like real like OG gamers will know about it. Anyone who is the son of an OG gamer who played those games will automatically know about those games through osmosis, let's say.
Yeah, but I also forget that we're no longer the target audience. And that's very difficult for me. That is very difficult for me. Because the target audience is the Fortnite players and,
it's
purchases.
It's the unfortunate side that we're now no longer like the niche because we're not recurring monetary streams anymore.
Right.
The only way that we are is through our Game Pass subscriptions or PS Plus subscriptions or anything like that.
Exactly. Oops. Apparently my volume was up.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
Excellent.
So if you got an echo, I do apologize.
I didn't hear anything myself.
Well, that's good. But yeah, I've actually had to come to terms with that because no, the way I came to terms with it is so stupid, but it is what it is. I was on my annual trek to Scotland, which is where I like to go vacation
Your
at.
pilgrimage to Scotland.
Pilgrimage?
Pilgrimage.
Yes. Oh gosh, yes. So yeah, Brent redeemed another glass of wine, which right now is tequila. So I am well sauced.
I am well on my way.
Yeah. But I was in Scotland, Edinburgh actually, and I saw it was a Christian singer. I don't know why. It's just something that happens in these here parts in Scotland and Ireland on Sundays. But behind them, a bunch of kids ran up and started doing Fortnite dances. Oh, audience, here's to see Pete's reaction. What they did. And they couldn't have been more than 7, 8, 9, 10. Nobody was older than 10. And Pete's reaction. But that moment was the moment I realized that gaming was not targeted for me anymore. It's targeted for children.
Okay, right. I'm gonna lighten this up. You see this cute little ditto. This cute little ditto.
Yes, love ditto. I do love ditto.
It's knitted by a friend of mine, right?
Oh, very good job.
It was awesome,
yes.
right? Gave it to me. It was like, do you want it? I was like, yeah, cool. All right. So I'm going to use
Pokemon I recognize.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to use this as an example for what would have happened if I would have been there, seeing this. I was like, by the old scruff of the neck, it was like, you stop doing that now.
Yep. Well, that's how I came to know the gaming is no longer targeted for me and my peers.
Sorry. So
it is.
Yeah. I can do a reaction. I can do something for you.
Yes.
So, do you remember, to bring it all, circling it all back to the very start of the stream, where we were talking about Kill Bill and stuff like that?
I was going to say,
yeah, please
first of all, Nana, you read my mind. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Anyway, so you remember in Kill Bill, in Volume 1, where she's fighting the crazy 88s?
Yes.
And she comes up to that one kid who's literally petrified, holding the sword, and she cuts it all down. And then she picks him up and puts him over the knee. It was like, stupid boy, you don't play with samurai swords. Go home to your mother. Well, that's what I probably would have done to those children. It's like, don't you... Oh my gosh. Like, because that singer was probably awesome as well.
Now, to be fair, they were. Like, they were singing religious songs, but...
I don't care.
They were very good singers. Yeah, you don't do rude things. I'm very big on polite. I'm very big on polite society. I'm very... that's... If you know me, you know that. I know that's kind of hard to believe, because a lot of people see me doing this. For our listeners at home, I am flipping the bird. But I do that in the context of this. I'm very big on polite and manners and stuff like that.
Yep.
As Pete knows, he's met me in real life. So that was wrong. They should not have done that, regardless of what the singer was saying.
No.
Because it was a like full on like in Edinburgh, in front of the museum.
Oh, that would have been beautiful.
People on the grassy knoll. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I know, because I've been to Edinburgh. I know exactly where you're talking about. I'm like, that is a stunning place.
The greens, it's just it's wonderful. But seeing those little kids, and to me, they are little kids, up there just doing Fortnite dances behind the singer. They shouldn't have been. They did not have permission to do that. For anyone who's going, well, maybe they were... No, they weren't allowed to. It did. It hit me at that moment. They aren't appealing to me anymore. That's why Fortnite has all that stupid stuff that I'm like, oh, this is stupid. Flick. Yep. This is stupid. Flick. Stupid. I'm not spending money on this. Stupid.
Nope.
Stupid. Because it's not for me. It's for 10-year-olds.
Yep. Who shouldn't even be playing the game anyway because it's a 12 or 8 game, but
But I would have been. If I was 10, I would be playing it.
Yeah, we probably would.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I was playing Resident Evil at 10 years old. So,
yeah. I was like Half-Life, all of it. Yeah. Everything I should not have been touching, I was touching. And then my mom didn't know any difference. She was just like, all games are stupid. I got lucky that way. But it was, it really did. Like, it hit me then. And ever since that moment, I've been watching, and it's like, I'm the one with the money, but nothing they're making is to appeal to me. Yeah, it is appealing to children.
Yep.
And I don't like that. And
I
don't know what to do about it. I want to complain.
No,
I'd like
it's
to
the
talk
weird
to your
thing
manager.
for me, honestly, like where I've gone, oh, I really like Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I absolutely love that game. Should I just buy it so I own it at some point? I'm like, I really should.
Yeah.
Because it's going to go off Game Pass at some point and I won't be able to play it. And I'm like, I want to play it.
And to be fair, I know we've been a lot of tangents on this episode, but it just is what it is. That's kind of how I knew that I was an adult. What Pete is talking about is I went from, yes, I did formerly pirate games. Yes, I pirated TV shows and movies a long time ago.
I mean, who the hell didn't? I probably still have a hard drive full of freaking, like, downloaded music that I legally own.
Yeah, good old LimeWire. But the point
I own licenses.
About 2 or 3 years ago, I bought something, I don't remember what, but I bought it and I was like, I don't have to go pirate this anymore. Yeah. I can afford the £4 to buy this movie.
I mean, for God's sake,
it's like, I'm an adult now. This is different.
That's the thing is, I remember years and years ago, like LimeWiring all of Metallica's albums because I got into them and I'm like, I already want to listen to all of them.
Yeah, and also F Metallica. Anyway,
yeah, screw them.
Because of their attitude. I love their music. It was their attitude for people who don't know.
Oh, stupid Napster situation. And then I went and bought some of their albums. I'm like, okay, that's fine, no problem. Like, but yeah, when it comes to Dream Theater, never once pirated any of their albums and bought them all. I still and not even just buying them all. I'm replacing some of them because some of them are broken. I'm like, okay. Well, that's what happens when you actually have something that's good and you want to support.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, some of those albums aren't so great, but it's fine.
Yeah. But that's how I knew I crossed the line from, like, young person to adult.
Yeah.
I was actually purchasing stuff.
Yeah.
Why these game companies aren't appealing to us? I have money. I will give you money. Make a game that is good, that I want to play. I will give you so much money. I will throw it at you. You can even make it live service if it's good. I will throw it at you and I won't stop if you make a good game. Well, but they're not making good games. They're making Fortnite skins.
No, and that's exactly why I said I'm going to buy Expedition 33 at some point. Even though I might complete the game, I want to throw the developers some money because I've enjoyed the game. Yeah. And we should.
Oh, gosh. I do like what they say down here. Brent says, I remember Rare Replay. Yes. I have that, actually.
So do I.
The last time those characters were seen on Xbox, released before Mixer. Oh, gosh. Who even remembers that? I forgot about Mixer and Ninja.
Well, do you remember Mixer? Do you also remember the Zune?
Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. I was going to buy a Zune.
I know a friend who picked a Zune over an iPod.
I don't know what. I've been an Apple girl since way back, before they started making iPods. And for some reason, I was like, I just want to shake things up. I'm going to look at the Zune. I did not buy a Zune at all. I have never owned a Zune. No, but I did look at it for 2 seconds.
No, my friend was a big component of the Zune. He absolutely loved it. Fair play to him.
I mean, sure. I'm an Apple girl all the way.
No, I really like the scroll wheel. It had the stupid... On the Zune, it had that stupid slider. It was dumb as fuck. Anyway, moving on, because we're going to carry on with this story.
This is a very episode where we reflect on the past.
It basically is, yeah.
We have not had birthdays recently. So
No.
I don't know why. All of a sudden, we're like, oh.
Yeah, anyway, so... This whole Microsoft situation was all compounded with this particular story.
Yes.
Which is probably... I wouldn't say it's the worst one of them all, but it is the most ridiculous of them all.
Okay.
Because Romero Games...
Oh, God.
The island-based studio founded by John and Brenda Romero has now completely closed following this week's Microsoft cuts.
Yeah...
And this is a studio that Microsoft didn't even own.
No, they didn't.
No. So on Wednesday, the studio confirmed that it lost its funding for an unannounced shooter project after an unnamed publisher, later named as Microsoft, pulled the publishing agreement.
And I feel so bad for them. Obviously, they live here. For anyone who doesn't know.
Yep. So it later...
they're a pretty big deal here.
So it later emerged that employees had lost their jobs after they posted messages on LinkedIn. Now one employee has claimed that the studio has been closed entirely, with all of its over 100 staff members losing their jobs.
It was so upsetting.
So speaking to the Journal, the anonymous Romero Games staff member described the situation as, quote, a big shock. Quote, everyone is out of a job. We had meetings with the publisher the day before this happened. There was no mention of it. It seemed so far away for us. The title was pretty well developed at the time. So Romero Games was working on a first-person shooter made in UE5, so Unreal Engine 5. According to the anonymous employee, there is a chance another publisher could swoop in and save the project and Romero Games, but as of now, its operations have ended. Quote, we're trying to find other ways of funding the project, but for now, it's completely closed and the studio is closed.
Well, hopefully...
Karen.
Well, just hopefully he'll pull it back up. I mean, he never gives up. He never gives up. Like I said, he's a big deal here. So I think they'll do it. I think they'll pull through. But it's still so disappointing. So disappointing to hear.
So, because Nana's mentioned it in the comments, we are going to now go over this one.
Okay.
So, apparently, according to some of... Well, this is one of the stories that also came out as a result of this, and this one is pretty prevalent to a couple of people. Forza Motorsport, so you remember
the... Oh, yes.
Is no more.
Yes.
According to a former employee at Turn 10, no, the Horizon series will continue.
Yeah, that is so weird to me. That is so weird to me.
Yeah. So, Fred Russell, who worked at the studio as content coordinator for 4 years until 2016, shared a post on Facebook with images from across his time working on the series. Quote, Turn 10 Studios has shuttered the Forza Motorsport space, and the team is no more. A very sad day for one of the best car racing video games. I loved my time there. In a follow-up, Russell added, Forza Horizon will continue at this point. Another reply from Russell states, the studio is open to support the Horizon side, shuttered the Forza Motorsport side only. Though it's unclear officially how many have been laid off from Turn 10, losses include the likes of Business Operations Program Manager Geordie Ressler and content creator Joel Shamoa.
Sure.
Who worked at the studio for over a decade. Quote, I'm very thankful for the 10 years I was able to face and voice for this brand and its awesome car-loving community. Shamoa posted on Russell's post. They have been contacted for clarification, Microsoft, but so as of yet, nothing.
Yeah.
So this was a big surprise, but I say surprise, let's be honest. Forza Motorsport didn't exactly go down well. It spent a long time in the oven being developed and kind of fudded on launch. I know it was played by several. I know people did enjoy it, but I didn't enjoy it at all.
Yeah, I think I remember you saying that.
I did, but that was only... I think that's mostly because I like a more arcadey racer rather than a sim racer, which is fine.
And in fact, I think that's exactly what you said.
Yeah, like that is exactly it for me. I'm not saying it wasn't a bad game, but they spent so much time developing that game, and if it didn't have the critical reception that it probably needed, then it was always going to struggle from there. Oh dear. Nana's commented and says, also Playground Games, so Playground Games who are also involved with Turn 10 of the doing the Forza Horizon games, seems to be immune to all of this one, but he predicts that once Fable comes out, they will get hit with the job losses.
Absolutely, they will.
Oh, 100%,
Fable does not. It does not look good. It does not look like Fable, the brand we know.
No.
The Peter Molyneux fantasy dream world. It doesn't look like that at all. It looks like they're trying to be almost a Skyrim competitor. Yeah. And that's not what Fable's about.
No.
I don't predict. Again, my predictions have been way off.
Of course.
But I don't predict it's going to be good.
Oh, it's not going to be good.
It's not funny. It's not whimsical. It's very almost serious-minded type thing.
Yeah. So
we did, Mike. We just said it.
We did. So, yeah, go back and listen to the VOD or watch the VOD or wait for the episodes to get live before we talk about it. So you can hear what we say. But anyway, so yeah, that's all the Microsoft for Raw at the moment. Oof. So there's probably going to be more that comes out as a result over the next few weeks. People will discuss in massive detail about some of their experiences.
I'm like, I planned to buy the Rogue Ally Xbox when it came out. Now. I might not. Maybe I'll just buy Rogue Ally 2 that's out now.
Maybe.
I'll have to look at that.
I might just put Windows on my Steam Deck and just play Game Pass games through there instead.
I mean, you could do that. That's true. But yeah, I don't know. I feel so lost because I've been an Xbox fangirl for so long since we started this podcast. And I can't be a PlayStation fangirl anymore because I don't like PlayStation anymore. It's all so bad. Maybe I'll just buy a Switch too.
Well, this next story might give you a reason not to, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
But anyone want to buy a PlayStation 5?
There you go.
No, I'm legit actually considering selling the damn thing. It ain't coming out of the box.
I've never bought one.
No.
I have the money and I've never done it. I don't have a reason to.
Oh, God, yeah. Sorry, Brent. Yeah, you are right. And I'm glad you mentioned it. But there was also announcements of layoffs at Halo Studios and Raven Software, or Raven Studios, which is like a COD developer. It's like, how do you cut people a COD developer? The biggest cash cow that Activision has.
That's what I'm saying.
That Microsoft now owns. Why are they getting rid of people there?
I don't know. I don't know if they're just making bad decisions or they know something we don't.
But yeah, Phil Spencer
bad.
But yeah, dickhead will walk away with big golden parachute, and asshole will also get his golden parachute, and Nutella will also get his golden parachute too.
It's true.
And Bond will get hers too.
Oh goodness, yes.
I mean, we need a funny name for Sarah Bond too.
I know. Sarah
Bondage.
No, that's not funny.
No, that's not as funny, is it?
That's too cool. That's not funny.
No, true.
But
I
don't know. I don't either.
But yeah, they'll all get their golden parachutes for laying all these people off, and then Xbox will be back again, and it'll just be this fucking disaster. And do you know what will make all this worse?
We just need a daggum separate developer. Someone come in and make a new game system, a new console.
Nana said Sarah bitch. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
We can't say that.
Oh yeah, so thanks for clarifying. So it was including Sledgehammer Games as well as Raven Studios.
Oh right.
But yeah, so people who are basically heavily involved in COD are getting cut.
I don't know.
Microsoft is pulling a Melon Usk and dismantling the company.
Is that what's happening?
No, it's the fact that he's called him Melon Usk. I think he means Elon Musk.
I know, that's exactly what
That's really good. But to make this situation all the worse, and this is really, really funny the same time.
Oh dear.
Because Microsoft and another studio managed to really piss off the PlayStation fanboys a day after all this had happened. By Arrowhead Studios announcing Helldivers 2 coming to Xbox in August.
Oh yes, that's right.
So yeah,
that was true.
They managed to piss off PlayStation diehards, which is really, really funny. Oh, it's very good. By the way, you've now not got an excuse to play Helldivers 2.
I know. I do need to. I like it. I just need to do
I
it.
might actually buy it on Xbox as well.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Only because the party system on Xbox is so much better.
Well, that's the thing.
But anyway,
there are good things about Xbox.
I know there is, but it's just stupid.
It's getting lost in all this.
Anyway,
Yes.
I might have mentioned that there might be a reason not to buy Switch 2, and this might be one of the various many reasons.
Okay.
Why not to buy a Switch 2? So this comes from Games Radar, not a site that I would usually use, but it's one of the few sites that I actually could find this story, and I heard about this and thought it was funny, but also like, why the hell does this happen in 2025?
Okay.
So, here in 2025, I think most of us are probably ready to admit to ourselves that the Legend of Zelda protagonist, particularly in this modern post-Breath of the Wild incarnation, is presenting himself with definitive twink energy.
Yes!
You're now starting to understand why I brought this story up.
Yes!
Apparently Nintendo itself is not so ready to make the admission, as the username Twink Link has seemingly landed one player in customer service hell.
Oh, they have clearly listened to our show.
Yes. Quote, so this is a quote. I let everyone in my family use my Switch 2 system, and as a result, my sister uses it. Fanoy24 puts in a Reddit post. Her username was recently changed to Twink Link and ... console ban.
Aww.
I am fully prevented from accessing any Nintendo services at all on the system.
But Link is a twink. We love him. Link the twink.
Anyway, so a full console ban means you can't access any online services from any account on that system.
That is
As
really
they explain, that means no eShop or virtual game card access, effectively cutting you off from playing any digital games you previously purchased unless they were installed on your console prior to the ban.
Oh, that is so wrong.
So, quote, contacted support and they're working to fix it now, sharing an image of the console ban error as proof that it happened. Quote, the guy over the phone was laughing at the username. At least one Nintendo customer, so at least one Nintendo customer service has a sense of humor about it. But would you really get banned for a name featuring a very lightly saucy queer culture loanword?
I mean, you shouldn't, because Link is a twink and I love him.
Anyway, but this has come from, so there's a load of doubt in the comments about that, with some folks suggesting that Fanoy24 was likely using a device like the MiG flash cartridge to get a ban.
Oh.
You might have heard about this, but I'll go over that in a minute. A claim that might be backed up by the user's post history and older 3DS and Switch 1 modding subreddits. Quote, as someone who's been talking for hours to Nintendo support, I can assure you that this is not the case, and even they're not sure what happened, so Fanoy argued. It's been escalating though, so I have to wait for a Nintendo employee to get back to me, but the chance I get unbanned, I was told, was incredibly likely as soon as they get permission to do so. So, I bring this back up because there was such a thing known as a MiG Switch cartridge.
Yes, there was.
So you heard about that, and
I do know that.
Nintendo have been banning consoles of anyone who have been using a MiG Switch cartridge.
Oh, wow.
Regardless of why you're using them. Admittedly, probably a vast majority are playing pirated software using it. But there are people who are using the MiG Switch cartridge for legal dumped versions of the backups of their owned games. And yet they're now being banned as a result of it.
Yes.
So this guy has been banned for changing the name to Twink Link, and people are being banned from their console being bricked by Nintendo for using a cartridge that is a third-party cartridge that might own legal backups of your own games.
I don't like that.
And Mike's put it perfectly a better way than I ever would. Anti-consumerism at its absolute worst.
Yep.
Do you remember the days when you used to be able to get a console and that ownership was completely on you once you owned it?
Yeah, but those days are gone. Those days are way gone.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So,
even I have to agree to that.
So whilst this is a little bit of a funny story because of the Twink Link name, and it is hilarious.
We have an episode, go watch it, called Link the Twink.
Yeah. I think this is just utterly baffling and utterly ludicrous that a company...
It is.
Especially a company like Nintendo are literally just shoving that ban hammer down. Not just on an account itself, but on the actual console. It's like the whole fucking thing.
I don't like that.
That is a joke. That is so bad.
And everyone knows I'm very open here about that. Unlike Pete. Pete's very, very big into physical media.
I am. But they're not even giving us physical media on the cartridges much or on the discs anymore.
Exactly. But I've always been like, let's go with the times. I'm into digital media, blah, blah, blah. To an extent. When they can, this big company, overreach down into your console and say, no, and ban you from your own games that you've paid for, I don't like that.
No, I don't
either. I don't think that's cool. That's not cool.
I don't either. And especially like nowadays, especially Steam as well, where they say,
oh yeah,
you are buying a license for a game. You don't actually own this game, and we can remove it at any time we like.
Yep.
At this point, do you turn around and say, well, actually, if I don't own my games anymore, technically pirating the games isn't a bad thing?
Yep.
Really? Because if you don't own it, how can you...
Yep.
Legal grey area. Like, it's the grey area that people talk about, but it's this grey area that everyone's just going to go, well, fuck you then, I won't support you. And actually, I will go and pirate the games, because if I don't actually own a backup of it, I will own a backup of it by going elsewhere and downloading it off of a fucking torrent site. You absolute cretinous pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And now you're starting to understand why I'm now really falling out of love with Nintendo, like everyone else. Fuck you, Nintendo.
It's very disappointing that there is no capitalist company that we can put our faith into.
Okay, well, I'm ending this new segment by saying, fuck you, Nintendo. Fuck you, asshole. Fuck you, dickhead Spencer. Fuck you, Sony.
5 years ago, people
Fuck all
who are
of you.
listening to this, 5 years ago, we started this podcast. Pete was a Nintendo fanboy. Yes, he said he could criticize Nintendo. I was an Xbox fangirl.
Would never
Kieran,
criticize
who joined
them.
us later. I got better, but
You
Kieran,
got
who
at
joined us
first
later,
you were so bad.
I was. But Kieran was a Nintendo. No, Kieran was an Xbox fanboy. But he also had a very measured way. We tried to be.
Yeah.
But here we are now, 5 years later, and I'm going, I don't think I can support Xbox. I can't. Phil Spencer, who I have propped up as this really good guy. You can go listen to past episodes. Father Phil is how we referred to him, because he was so cool and so just benevolent.
He seemed like a breath of fresh air to the video game industry.
Because he's very authentic sounding, coming across. And I have a BS meter. And it didn't go off that hard for him, because, as we said, that we did a episode where we read the Apple versus Epic court documents.
We did.
It's a very cool.
Well, it wasn't a full episode. It was a side episode
special.
thing, special.
Yeah. It was like a theatrical special. It was very fun. But we do read from the actual court documents. Phil comes across as this very cool, measured, easygoing. Here's what we have in store. He doesn't sell out. He doesn't, all this kind of stuff. So it made me even go more like, oh, I'm supporting Xbox. I'm supporting Phil Spencer. Here we are, 2025. I'm jaded. Pete's cynical.
I've always been cynical, but more so now.
More so now. And I'm like, I don't know what we're going to do. We're gamers. Yeah. We want to spend money.
I want to support the industry, but I don't want to support the industry at the same time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Mike Tendo says, have you spoken about Ubisoft updating their EULA?
I didn't see this come up, but I can't be bothered with it anyway. We've already had enough depressing shit.
To say, we spoke about Ubisoft and their terribleness earlier.
Yeah, we did. But yeah.
Yes.
I have one final thought on all of this one, and this.
Okay.
Just a thought that I literally just had.
Okay.
Well, need to find out when it was first, though. So just bear with a sec.
Okay.
Mike's just sent me something. I don't know what the hell this is.
Probably the thing.
Oh, it's something about their EULA.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Thanks for the screenshot. I can see you watching in the background.
There you go.
There you go.
Yay! Confirmation! Yay! I need that validation.
We'll probably get to it next week, probably if we can. But anyway, I was just looking something up. So doki.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're out there and you're listening,
okay, yeah, I know the thing.
And you're a gamer, let us know what your thoughts are.
Farts. What's that farts?
A lot of tequila.
Yeah.
But your thoughts are on this current state of affairs and events, because I don't know. I don't know where to put my loyalty in. I don't know where to put my money in. More than my loyalty, I have money. I'd like to spend it, and I'd like to have games.
Okay.
So right now, I'm just buying Steam games.
Yes, me too. And usually on sale.
Yes, definitely on sale.
So, I can't believe this was nearly 10 years ago now.
Oh gosh, what?
In fact,
I feel really old.
In fact, 5 days' time, it will be the 10-year anniversary, by the way.
Of what?
I'm getting to it, just lead into it.
It's gonna be bad. Okay.
Is it possible, and I pose this question to not just yourself, but to the audience members watching live, or to those listening at home or watching on YouTube. Has the video game industry ever been the same since Satoru Iwata passed?
10 years. I was just talking to someone about this.
July 11th, 2015 was his passing. Has the video game industry gone downhill since then?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it has. 100%. For those who don't know, that was a very amazing person. We've read from his biography on here. Pete has. Absolutely fabulous businessman that I would gladly pattern myself after.
I think the fact that he wasn't a businessman, he was a developer in the trenches and made his way up to management, gave everyone a good reason to believe that they could make it.
Yeah.
Even in a closed company at the time like Nintendo.
Yeah. Absolutely. The epitome of Japanese culture and stuff, which weirdly we haven't really seen a repeat of. But sacrificed his own salary so that he could keep people on board, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Which now doesn't feel like anyone would ever do, or anything like that. So yeah, that is actually shocking. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm starting to wonder whether or not the video game industry is even recoverable at this point.
Well, I've long said that we are heading for what
crash.
America experienced. I did not know that was not a worldwide crash.
No, but I think this might be the only time we ever get it.
Yeah.
We'll have a worldwide crash.
I do think we will. But again, I said this before, and I do stand by this. Yes, it's a scary thought. Yes, that is a scary statement to make. But good things come from crashes. You're going to get better quality games. You're going to get more affordable games. You're going to get games that are targeted towards sellability, marketability, things like that. that they're not now. Like right now, we just have conglomerations just putting out slop and saying, buy our slop, buy our slop, buy our slop. Fortnite, cough, cough.
I'm gonna go on record and just add to that point as well before you carry on. It's not just video games.
Oh, definitely. It's the entertainment industry. Don't even get me started on that. Pete is absolutely correct. The slop that has been coming out, recycled movies, recycled TV shows, it's just...
fucking remake after remake after remake after remake.
And if you go and you listen to the interviews by all of these executives, they're like, oh, but original content doesn't sell. Do it anyway!
Give it a fucking try, at least.
Exactly. But then, like, I think Jurassic World 5000 or whatever is out right now.
It's called, isn't it?
Apparently it's done amazing.
Oh, it has. Which is a terrible thing because some reviewers have now reflected on calling it Jurassic World Afterbirth.
Yes. See, that's what I would have called it. That's apparently done really well. The Minecraft movie did really well. I like, you can't fight that. So I don't know. I do like what Mark Tendo says. Nana says, I mean, the crash has kind of started then because Expedition 33 and Astro Boy Astrobot, not Astro Boy, that's something else. Even if I don't agree with the quality of these games, and also Expedition 33 can't win Game of the Year. Mike Tendo says there's a reason why there's only Pulp Fiction or Shaun of the Dead.
I think he says one Pulp Fiction or Shaun of the Dead.
Yes, exactly. And then Nana says, I'm sorry, but fans will be insufferable about it.
Can I just say I will not be insufferable about Expedition 33 winning Game of the Year for us if it does win Game of the Year in our show. Because I think it's genuinely a good game, but it's not the revival of the JRPG series that everyone thinks it is.
I don't know how I feel about it. I have to play it and see. Is how I feel. But I don't know. I do agree with Pete that we need a renaissance of stuff.
Which is why we should be playing Expedition 33 because it's French.
There you go. Yes.
Sorry,
and I will be playing it. I will be playing
solely for a joke. That was all it was.
Yes.
Vive la Révolution.
Yes. Oh, don't get me started because you know I'm into that.
I know.
But yeah, anyway, I do agree with Pete there. But I think we should wrap the show up now and we'll do a little after show where we can talk about that more. How do you feel about that, Pete?
Yeah.
Woo! So, this has been a fabulous show. We thank you so much for joining us. But
no. Let's not say it's been a fabulous show. It's been a shit show.
Well, the show has been fabulous.
The subject matter sucked ass.
Yes.
But the company's been good, I guess.
Yes, I guess. My company is Tequila. But anyway, Pete, where else can they find you out there and Neverland?
On the Hellscape, that is Melon Asks Twitter.
Never.
Yeah, terrible. And on Blue Sky, but that's all the information you can find elsewhere. But I'm also on a video game podcast. Yes, I am. It's this one.
Yes, you do.
No,
yeah.
I'm on a movie and TV series based podcast called The Never Watchers with my friend Kurt Lewin. We did release our episode of A Few Good Men a couple of days ago, so please go and listen to that. That's a great episode. Not to spoil anything, but we basically spent 30-something minutes going, this is great. But yeah, we can find out the reasons why it's great.
There you go.
But we shall be returning again soon with more Marvel, and we've got another movie coming up for Does the Movies, and it is a sci-fi classic, let's say.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, I
believe it's from 1987.
Okay.
RoboCop.
Oh yes, that's right. You said you hadn't seen it before.
No, the fans voted on RoboCop, so we're watching RoboCop.
Yes, love RoboCop. Love RoboCop.
So yeah, check back for a RoboCop episode soon. We're
Yes.
also going to be covering Marvel with Ironheart soon as well.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, so you can find that on most good podcast players and some bad ones. I don't know which ones, but yeah, at the it's called The Never Watchers.
Yes. There you go.
I've got some plans for the Never Watchers in the coming weeks that I need to discuss with Kurt and find out, and may need to discuss with one of our current audience members about some things with. So, Nana, keep an eye on your DMs soon for that, please. Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
Kylie, where can they find you?
Well, I am under your bed hiding.
Shot Kylie.
It's true.
You can hide under there with a cat. It's fine.
Yes, and the underpants gnomes. Absolutely, Brent says the new RoboCop game is pretty good as well. I agree, 100%.
What, Rogue City? Yeah, it was okay. I might have a bit more affiliation to it if I do actually watch RoboCop. So,
There you go. But yes, I can be found every Monday, Wednesday, Friday on my channel, Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/KILEY_WILDE. Mondays, we do FPSs, and it's called Mayhem Mondays. Tuesday, sometimes I stream, but not all the times. Wednesdays, I do Weird Wednesdays, where I play really weird games, and I have a weird one picked for this week that I'm very excited about. Thank you very much. And then Fridays, we do Frightening Fridays, which right now we are finishing Resident Evil. I was like, we're finishing Rapid Reviews 8. No, that's not the right
we are.
thing.
It's done. That's a soft announcement.
Yep. No, we are finishing Resident Evil Village. And then we'll move on to something very cool, I'm sure. Pete has Ditto. You need to come see it. Also, tell your friend that's an amazing job. They did so well. I will
let them know. I'm trying to get it to stand up on the microphone. There we go.
Oh, look at him! But yes. And sometimes I stream other days. Those are the days that are set in stone and won't change unless I have real life crap going on like I did last week. But sometimes I do stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, but that will be like Hitman or Doom or something like that. It's because I'm lonely and I need company.
We forgot to do Split Fiction on Thursday, by the way.
We need to do that.
I told you we were supposed to do Thursday, and we completely forgot, didn't we?
I did. I forgot.
No, we forgot. Even I did. I was in the midst of Expedition 33 and forgot.
Oh, I'm glad you forgot too. Okay.
I got to 4 o'clock and I was like, oh crap, we're supposed to do that.
But yeah, see, Pete and I do the multiplayers, and we'll be finishing up Split Fiction. Which might be a Game of the Year contender for me. Might be. Just because I haven't played anything else. But we're going to move on to Portal 2, which I've never played the multiplayer of, ever. So
I've not played it at all.
Yeah, it's Stephen Merchant, man. Can't beat him. He's amazing. But I think that's going to do it for me, because I'm not on social media. So just come hang out. Most of everybody that's in chat here is in my chat, and we just chill. We have a good time. I don't drink during those times, so I'm a little bit more sober, but it's still funny. And my top 3 channel redeems are all fart noises.
Of course they are.
Yes. So come play fart noises while I am playing serious games. It makes me laugh very much.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it for us. And also, Mike says, the cake is a lie. It's true. I want cake right now. Man, I want a cake. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this portion. But if you do come check us out over at twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews, you can come do a pre-show and a post-show with us. You can talk to us, ask us questions. We don't talk that much about video games. We talk about nonsense. Well, movies.
That's about normal for the show anyway, but more nonsense.
I was going to say, yeah. More nonsense. Extra nonsense. Well, you can only get on the Twitch thing.
Yeah.
There
it's
you go.
exclusive to Twitch.
There you go. Yeah, because I don't really understand how any of it works. I think the show goes on YouTube, the audio portion.
But it's the edit. No, the video version, but it's an edited version.
Oh, okay. So it is a video version on YouTube.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on Spotify.
I just drink.
Yeah,
and
I do all
Spotify
that
has a
crap.
video version. Yeah. Pete does all that crap. But anyway, that's gonna do it with us. Do it with us.
Do it with
Wow.
us. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Do it for us. We will see you and talk to you next week. Bye.
Fuck you, Microsoft. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast. You can watch the recording of the show live on Twitch every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. UK time at www.twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews. You can also watch the podcast on YouTube, search Rapid Reviews 5534, and you can also watch the video version of the show on Spotify, just search Rapid Reviews Radio. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, a rating, or a comment on this episode. You can also follow us on Twitter at rrradiopod, as well as on Blue Sky at rrradiopodcast.bsky.social. Also be sure to visit rapidreviewsuk.com for all the latest reviews and previews.